it ended up like this. And I go, well, music videos is not the most ambitious description. I went to Will and I said, listen, we need some high impact visceral imagery to kind of get our point across with the music. And he says, okay, I got this plan. He came back with an issue. It wasn't what we asked for, it was better, but it wasn't the next step. So we said, okay, how about you go on the next step? And he comes back with something that's even better than we said, but it wasn't. We're like, okay, now we're hovering underneath a motion picture, but way above what we wanted. And so then I remember that one day I went to, okay, you have the whole middle, the whole body of the film. We need a battle in the front. I'm like, we need a Civil War battle. And he's just like, oh my God, yeah. He's like, okay, so you want me to go out? And I knew this, and I felt bad saying it, but I knew he would do it. But it was 6 months of building a war in his parents' backyard.
Those big beams, like we had 300 of them, and it was literally like 5 people moving them up and down those hills. And then we had to chainsaw them because you can't cut them any other way. And we went through, like, I have a Stihl chainsaw, like, that's a free advertisement for them. It's a great chainsaw, but literally the blades would just buzz out like after two cuts, and we were making hundreds and hundreds, maybe 1,000 cuts.
The mine sequence?
For the mine. So,
yeah.
like, do you have to rechain a chainsaw like multiple times a day?
And your neighbor's tractor, he borrowed his neighbor's tractor, and him and his buddy with shovels, they dug the mine. I mean, the first time we filmed the beginning of the scene, it was 3 weeks of just you building a tunnel, and we're like, that's insane. I bet you could do it better, huh? And he's just like, oh my God. So I remember everything that you see in that film, I mean, the minimum was 6 months to build by just a couple people from Home Depot. And that's like, I guess what I'm really trying to say is, like, with independent film, so much of it is celebrated by the artists doing it themselves. But no artist in the history of humankind did what this guy pulled off. Because you don't go out, okay, and this is the other thing I tell people, like when you watch a romantic comedy, you know, just like they're falling in love, and that's like a $2 million picture. We gave Will $500 grand, and we said, we want a Civil War, and we want the rest of it filmed in orbit. It's like none of it makes any sense. But he did it, you know.
And I know a lot of you are going, why is there gravity in space? It's because I found an anti-gravity machine. It's made by Acme. But it was too big, it wouldn't go up my driveway, so that's why there's gravity.
Well, you know, the overall themes, there's some heavy messages, and, you know, for Gunnar, from the school of, you know, method acting, this question is from Drew. How do you take a crap in a space station? Answer this quick.
We didn't have the budget, so we just took it out of the script.
Space station. Well, this question is from Amy. This is for Tom. You know, this project has been going on, and now we're looking at the release of Love Part 2. When can we expect to hear and probably see that?
For all of our hardcore fans, for the people in the movie theaters, we will be releasing this movie and Love Part 1, which was a free album that we put out for only about 4 or 5 months, and then Love Part 2, which is an entirely new album, 11 brand new songs. So the double album and the movie will be out on 11/11/11, and that will be only on angelsandairwaves.com. And we're very excited about this. This has all been part of a master plan to release the free album, the movie, and then the double album and the movie. So that will be out on November 11th this year.
Busy band, busy man. Gunnar, one more question. So you got cast for this movie, and was it cool working with Tom and Will? Were they pretty good guys to work for?
They were great. You know, I had not spent a lot of time listening to a lot of the Angels and Airwaves music until I talked to Will about the project, and we really dove into the music, the feel. It really fueled my character. I mean, we didn't have a lot to go off of. I mean, I was basically trying to get into the head of an astronaut based off of coffee table books that Will was using to build the space station. So I did use Tom's music to get my head around certain emotions because I didn't have a lot of characters to play off of. And we really just created this unique bond. Will, in some ways, was my co-star. You know, he would feed me a lot of lines. He was a good gauge for me, and the band was awesome. You know, they gave us so much support. And yeah, it's a great show.
Are they showing that to the people right now? I hope to God they are showing.
We're watching the movie as we're talking.
There's
a shot of that horse at the start was fake.
A fake horse.
In the Civil War thing. Just a quick story. This guy had his guitar in the back with that, or guitar, your motorcycle in the back of the trailer, and it tipped over and punched a hole in the fake horse chest. So we like covered it with like duct tape and tried to paint it white to hide it from people. So yeah, it's a fake horse. And in the opening of the film, when you see its tail wagging, that's just Bradley like reaching his hand around and making the tail wag. So anyways, small note.
Nice. Well, I wanted to, of course, thank all of you out there for joining us for this amazing night. I was entertained, and I'm sure you guys were too. I also want to thank Gunnar, Will, and Tom for providing us with epic entertainment. And it's not over yet. Tom, we have a world premiere right now of a music video from your new album.
Yeah, and I just want to say, there, across the country, there's almost 500 theaters. And there's all these people that have stuck with Angels and Airwaves since day one. We had a really large mountain to climb, a rock band, and all of us coming from different punk rock and hardcore bands, trying to do something that spoke about unity, that spoke about love and building a better world. And it's not an easy thing to do in rock and roll. So I really want to thank all the people out there that not only believed in what we were doing, but supported us. And we're gonna play you the world premiere of our music video for the movie, for Love Part 2. It's a song called Anxiety. And it's a song that just says, I'm just a passenger, because I think a lot of us are just passengers on this little pale blue dot, like Carl Sagan called it, this little thing that's so insignificant in a field of blackness. And when you start to think about how little we mean to the universe, you start to realize how important we are to each other, and that's what this movie is about.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Grandma. I know you're in Century City right now. I love you.
Yeah, I just want to say I lost a great friend this weekend, actor Francesco Quinn. And you talk about love. This movie means a lot to all of us, but in memory of Frankie, as a great actor and a good buddy, hold your loved ones tight and realize what's really important out there.
Thank you so much,
All right.
guys.
Thank you, Gunnar, Will, Tom, yet again. And right now, the world premiere of Anxiety.